That was not a top 50 verse.
New song?
No, but you know.
You don't like Ace Trumpets?
What's so great
about it? It's so good.
T or Malice?
To keep it a buck, I'm gonna go with Pusha T. So we're not gonna drink to them.
My son can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like, let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
like, let's keep.
Welcome back to the spot where the masks come off and the truth gets loud. Jim Jones just broke the internet after picking fights with not one, not two, but three hip-hop heavyweights, Nas, Pusha T, and No Malice. What started as a few slick comments has now turned into a full-blown industry showdown. Jim's offhand remarks didn't just make waves, they sparked one of the wildest comeback stories hip-hop's seen in years. This isn't small talk anymore. This is legacy on the line. Jim didn't just ruffle feathers, he might have woken a sleeping giant. That one interview, it didn't just trend, it might have brought the Clipse back from the shadows. What started as Jim brushing off Nas's influence has now exploded into a lyrical storm right in front of Pharrell, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z. Yes, at Paris Fashion Week of all places. The same man who once dismissed Pusha's impact is now tangled up in what looks like a master-planned comeback rollout. And here's the plot twist. His own words might have handed the Clipse their perfect return ticket to the game. Thing is, Jim probably didn't realize who he was really poking at. Nas isn't the type to go bar for bar online or throw shots just to trend. He's the silent assassin of hip-hop, the kind who moves with billionaires, rebuilt his city, and lets power moves speak for him. While Jim was busy talking, Nas was plotting, quietly, strategically. No messy pratbacks, no interviews, just one classy flex that shut the noise down. Out of nowhere, Nas drops an Instagram post revealing he's part of a $5 billion casino in Queens, his hometown. The caption? Simple but sharp. Time to invest in us. That wasn't just a flex. It was a mic drop, a clear message that Nas has leveled up beyond industry chatter. He's not arguing about rankings, he's building empires. But Jim couldn't leave it there. Instead of cooling off, he went after Pusha T next. Bold? Yes. Reckless? Absolutely. Jim flat out said Pusha wasn't even top 50, brushing off a catalog hip-hop heads have respected for decades. What he didn't know was that someone else was listening. No Malice, the other half of the Clipse. And with just that one careless jab, Jim might have done what fans have been wishing for, reignite one of the most iconic duos in rap history. Now the industry's on edge, watching closely. Did Jim Jones just trigger a Clipse reunion by accident? Let's roll it back, because this story's roots run deep.
The future is not something you wait for, it's something you build. It lives in the hands of the doers, the dreamers, the people who refuse to stand still. Resorts World is more than a casino. It's energy. It's opportunity. It's hope for the borough. A second chance for some, a first step for many. It's where community gathers, not just to win, but to build a future once imagined. This isn't just business. This is legacy. And now it's time.
The Clipse had been ghosting the scene for almost 15 years. For over a decade, they'd been living in the shadows of their own legendary catalog. But behind closed doors, moves were already in motion long before Jim Jones opened his mouth. Pusha had quietly dropped a hint in a Rolling Stone interview, saying he was trying to pull his brother back into the game. He said, I'm like, yo, listen to what I just made. We can really do this. And when he tried to pitch it, he got brushed off. Then he added, if I had it my way, it would be Clipse. It's really up to my brother. At the time, it sounded like wishful thinking, but then Jim's comments hit, and maybe, just maybe, that was the spark Pusha needed. Rumors of a reunion soon started bubbling, first at Pharrell's Something in the Water Festival in 2022, where the Clipse hit the stage. Then again at Chicago's Hyde Park Summerfest, the brothers stood shoulder to shoulder, tearing through Lord Willin' and Hell Hath No Fury. No Malice looked recharged, like he had something left to prove. And then the next move was pure headline-making genius. The Clipse were spotted walking the Louis Vuitton runway in Paris, hand in hand with Pharrell himself. This wasn't just a fashion moment. This was strategy incarnate. Pharrell had just stepped up as the new creative director for Louis Vuitton Men's, and this moment marked the pivot from nostalgia to full-blown momentum. Front row, none other than Jay-Z and Beyoncé, nodding as the show took a wild, unforgettable turn. Midway down the runway, the speakers exploded with a brand new Clipse track titled Question Must. The beat hit hard, sharp, heavy, and locked squarely on Jim Jones. There was zero subtlety here. Pusha T didn't hold back. This wasn't just a diss track, it was a statement. A lyrical missile launched in the heart of Paris Fashion Week in front of billionaires, fashion icons, and cultural heavyweights alike. And behind it all, Pharrell. His role wasn't just creative, it was tactical. Fans immediately started piecing it together. Was this Pharrell's silent revenge plan, a calculated chess move play out on the Louis Vuitton runway, striking back without a single word spoken? Years of Jim Jones's slick remarks may have finally caught up to him, especially since he'd been publicly riding with Pusha T's biggest rival, Drake.
Along the 5 Pusha T records right now, his records.
Yes.
His records?
Yeah.
Name
I love
them.
Pusha. Nostalgia.
Oh, you was a Pusha T fan. He's like, I didn't know he had fans like that. Can you name 5 Pusha T records? No, his records. Pusha T. I love your soul, my dog. You're not in my top 50. You might be in Charlemagne's top 50 and things like that, but you haven't done that much for me in my life. Like I didn't never want to be like Pusha. I never had a Pusha moment in my life. I never thought like you did. Like where I'm from, just want to be like you if you was really that dude and that rapper and things like that.
Wanted to be like Pusha?
Yeah.
He was influenced by Pusha?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's why Pusha did the Mr. Me Too record.
Okay, cool.
In multiple interviews, including one with Complex, Jim didn't hold back, straight up calling Drake the greatest of all time. That move? Loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. He wasn't just showing love to Drake. He was picking a side in one of hip-hop's most legendary rivalries. And guess what? Pharrell might have clapped back without uttering a single word. Just like that, the Clipse didn't need a press release. They didn't need a flashy single drop. They made their return with a precision strike, a lyrical ambush broadcast live in front of the world's elite. Fashion moguls, music legends, billionaires, all eyes on them. This comeback wasn't accidental. Every beat, every line was surgical, crafted to remind everyone exactly how deep the Clipse's influence runs. For Jim, it might have seemed like just another opinion, but for Pusha T and No Malice, it was way bigger than talk. It was a setup, a grand reintroduction, a moment for the music to do the talking louder than any podcast ever could. Now, the burning question: did Jim Jones just hand No Malice the most unexpected comeback in modern rap history? Or did he just bury his own credibility? Here's the kicker. The Clipse haven't even dropped a full project yet. No track list, no rollout, no release date. And still, their return is shaking the entire industry in real time. And standing right behind all that chaos? Pharrell. Not just the Clipse's producer, but their creative backbone, their brother in sound. So when Jim called the Clipse irrelevant, mocked their catalog, questioned their legacy, he wasn't just taking shots at Pusha. He was trying to erase a whole chapter of hip-hop, a chapter Pharrell helped write. But that story? Far from over. For more than a decade, No Malice stayed in the shadows. The quiet one, the voice of reason. He traded lyrical warfare for spiritual peace, stepping away from rap to follow his faith. Most thought he'd never touch the mic again.
Make some noise for the Clipse. It's the Genesis. Now hold on. DC, make some noise for the Clipse, y'all.
Things were about to flip. While Pusha T held down the Clipse legacy, No Malice had been walking a totally different path until his voice suddenly boomed through the speakers at Pharrell's Louis Vuitton showcase in Paris. And let me tell you, that moment wasn't just surprising, it was straight up shocking. No Malice wasn't merely returning, he was making a statement, and nothing about it was random. Every lyric was surgical, sharp, layered, dripping with meaning. Take the line, bird talk, we all parrots. On the surface, slick wordplay. But fans instantly caught the deeper message, a direct jab at Jim Jones and his Bird Gang ties. That line didn't just land, it shattered the image Jim had built over years. And it got deeper. The cities No Malice mentioned, Paris and Dallas, match ones Jim dropped in his own freestyle about chains and whips. This wasn't coincidence, this was precision. No Malice wasn't just spitting bars, he was responding. He'd been listening the whole time. Every lyric had weight, every bar had purpose. But the real kicker? No Malice didn't sound like a man dusting off old skills. He came in sharp, focused, ready. This wasn't a hesitant comeback, it was a warning shot. And the wildest part? Jim Jones unknowingly set the stage himself. Then came the clip that sent social media buzzing. Jim laughing off the Clipse's Paris runway diss on Instagram. Classic Jim, right? Acting unbothered. But things flipped fast on Drink Champs. When the host brought up the track, that layback energy vanished. Laughter stopped. Tone got serious. The whole vibe shifted. Under the jokes, Jim felt that diss. Played it cool online? Sure. But deep down, personal. And of course, he hit the booth with his own chains and whips freestyle over the same beat, clapping back. Then came the BET Awards. Jim sat down with Bootleg Kev, still trying to stay cool, still in character. But everyone could see the pressure. Jim shrugged off the Clipse track Question Must as tired nostalgia, claiming their bars had no bite. But to the audience, not confidence, desperation. The spotlight was drifting. Here's the choice. When the artists you dismiss start regaining power, you either evolve or double down. And Jim doubled down hard. Viral moment on Nightcap with Shannon Sharp. He reignites shots at Nas, this time claiming Nas was never truly influential, always second to giants like Jay-Z and DMX. He even compared Nas's trajectory to Michael Jordan post Space Jam. Fans and critics? Stunned. It sounded less like opinion, more like revisionist history. Meanwhile, the Clipse stayed silent. Let their moves do the talking. While Jim chased headlines, the Clipse quietly launched their reunion album rollout. Let the Lord sort them out. If Chains and Whips was the warning shot, this album, the full-blown war plan. Every move deliberate, strategic, designed to remind the world exactly who they are. Sharpened by years of patience, they made the message crystal clear. Real legacy doesn't need noise. It needs precision. The project featured Nas, Kendrick Lamar, Tyler, the Creator, The Dream, John Legend, and executive production by Pharrell. But here's the twist. It all went down behind the scenes. Originally set for Def Jam, the label allegedly tried to censor Kendrick's verse, a verse aimed at Drake, Travis Scott, and the shady side of the industry. The Clipse refused to edit a single bar. They walked, took the project straight to Roc Nation. Boom. Power move. Not playing by anyone's rules. This wasn't nostalgia. This was reclaiming culture. And when Jim questioned who really stood behind Pusha T, answer hit like a mic drop. Roc Nation, Pharrell, Nas, Kendrick, and hip-hop's elite past and future all united. Shift in power? Undeniable. Jim wasn't just dissed. He was quietly replaced. Not blackballed, not canceled, just benched while the real players took the floor. For a man whose career thrived on loud loyalty and louder controversy, that silence? Brutal. Harder than any diss track. So when the Clipse finally drops that long-awaited record with Nas, it won't just be a response. It'll feel like a eulogy. Every bar sharpened, layered in legacy, carrying the weight of culture. Sure, Jim can still rap, post, talk his talk, but behind the scenes, Tours booked, meetings sealed, visuals locked, and none of it involves him. The real question now is, will anyone care when Jim claps back? What was meant to go viral might have backfired. Jim Jones quietly erased from hip-hop's timeline. So what do you think? Did Jim push it too far? Or does he still have a shot at redemption? Drop your thoughts below. And if you made it this far, smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and never miss another twist in this wild hip-hop saga. Trust me, things are just getting heated.